Hello everyone, welcome to this stream. I've been on vacation, but now I'm back. So I'm thinking I just want to sort of kick this week off with doing some fun prototyping stuff. And so what I have here is just my my template that I have shown before. I can it's Odin hot reload template. This one. It's on the GitHub, on my GitHub page. I can link it in the chat. But so this is the template. It's just a template for doing hot reload of gameplay code. That's all it is. And it has like built-in sort of things set up for using Raylib also. But that part is really not much at all. It's mostly the hot reload stuff. Anyway, so I have Sublime running here. So if I run this project, this is what the template looks like this. So we have a little, some kind of player character and something. This is just the sample stuff in the template. So we'll remove all that and then put our own stuff in. So I was thinking I'm just gonna try to, like, it's morning here now. So I was thinking, like, since I'm having a bit of trouble getting started on a new game, or like committing to something, maybe more like, I was thinking of just doing morning streams of random game development prototyping. I'm also currently writing a book on the Odin programming language, which would be sort of a web-based book initially, at least. So that's sort of what I work on in the afternoon, I think, for the coming weeks and stuff. So this is my template. It's just some init procedure, and there is some update procedure that runs update and draw, and this code can be hot reloaded by recompiling while the game is running. It reloads whatever is inside this game.odin file and any other files in the same folder. So let's just begin by ripping out the gameplay code that is there currently. So it's this stuff here. This is just some stuff for drawing the player. We don't need this stuff either. UI camera, don't need. Game camera. Yeah, this one we can keep, well, almost. Let's just target, blah, blah, blah. So what I'm thinking of doing here is sort of trying to do, just to see if it's fun to work with sort of like point and click adventure style things. Just have some player that you can click to walk around and then maybe talk to someone or pick something up, maybe some inventory. We'll see exactly where it goes. Let's see here. I don't need a target. So this is my game camera. This is just part of the template. So I'm just removing some stuff here essentially to make it all nice and clean. Point and click. This is the window title and all that. I think that's all I need. And I can remove this state in here. Yeah, these two are no longer used. This thing here is sometimes something is unused, but you always want it to be there because like FMT is where you have like the logging procedures and stuff. So you want that stuff to be, you probably want it later. So I just redefine. If you write like this, you make an alias of FMT to nothing, which is this underscore. But that just means to put in a dummy usage. So this otherwise, if I try to run it says error undeclared, declared but not used. So you can put this in to just make that go away. That's funny. Yeah, so it actually hot reloaded there, but I just restarted it completely since I messed around so much. So we have this here now. Black screen, very good. Let's make that window a bit bigger. 920 by 1080. Right, good. So I was thinking of just maybe making like a room, you know, one screen where I can click to walk around and maybe pick something up, talk to someone, something like that. So we need, first we can clear the background with some more fun color. So maybe we do like red, green, blue. This is a very pale green, probably, yes. Not sure about that color though. Maybe something like 150 here, 150 there, like that. So you see now it already like using the hot reload stuff. That's also pretty terrible. Let me just put like 90 dark background maybe. Sure, doesn't really matter right now. I just wanted to put some other color there. And then let's make a player that we can click and then it sits somewhere. It's just a rectangle and it sits somewhere, or whatever. Let's actually draw something here. Let's just draw. It's so quick to make a dummy character anyways. 16 by 16 by 32 maybe. Right, so we have some random palette here. Maybe we use some fun palette in here. Many colors. So let's, wow, that was not what I intended to do. Green Pants Man, yeah, very good. Green Pants Man is going on an adventure. Green Pants Man. Green Pants Man has he looks like this. Green Pants Man. And then we give him a cap. Ah, excellent. Green Pants Man. Well, now. Yeah, don't need to think more than that. Trim it, save it, and go here, go into repos, blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Point and click. Put it here. PNG. Player.png. Or a player.png. There we go, there we go. Let's load that texture and draw it on screen. Player sprite is an rl.texture. Actually, do I have texture? Okay, I'm very fancy in this template. Apparently, there's in Raylib helpers there is a alias, so you can type texture instead of rl.texture. Wow. No, I don't think that's silly actually. Player pos. Wait, it was in the Swedish keyboard layout there for a second. I always program in American keyboard layout. I just use the Swedish one for typing in Swedish, because Swedish alphabet is exactly the same as English, but there's 3 extra letters. but the layout on the keyboard itself is different. So when I want to type those letters, the layout is completely different. I've been thinking about maybe adding like a hotkey instead, like always being an American and just having like a hotkey to like a shortcut to do those letters. So I never have to switch. But then I'd be like broken whenever I try to use someone else's computer. You know, you go to a try to type. I used to use these weird keyboard layouts like Colmac and all that stuff. But I eventually returned to using QWERTY. So this is the player position. We initialize it to something 200. How high is the screen? 180. So maybe not that big. 50, 70. And then we just need to load the texture. Like that. Player sprite, player sprite. Right. Then we need to draw this at some position. Yeah, so I have my draw procedure here. So I write rl.draw texture v. Texture v takes a texture position and a tint. So we say gmem.layersprite. gmem.layerpos. It's funny, like this gmem thing is just like a global memory. It means global memory or game memory, whichever you want. But so it's just a name I chose in the previous project, and now I just put that in this template. And it's funny how like something you choose arbitrarily in one project can sort of become just a way you do things. So it's just my global game memory thing where I keep and I keep it here. I keep things in here rather than in global variables, because then this is sort of what when you hot reload, this whole thing is kept. This memory is initialized here, but when it hot reloads, it doesn't rerun game init. It just reuses the same memory and keeps going. And then we need rl.white here. Hello, Jadebro Supreme. He say, yeah, yeah, you remapping keys and stuff. It's I used to use, like I said, I used to use Colmac, which is a funny keyboard layout that is very it's sort of like Dvorak. Well, it's not like Dvorak, but unlike Dvorak, and it tries to keep keys that have a utilitarian thing, like Control C and Control V, like X, C, and V is in the same spot as in QWERTY, because copy paste becomes a bit awkward when you use something like Dvorak. So Colmac is quite nice in the sense that it tries to retain those things but move the most used keys that can be moved. It tries to move to the home row. And I use that in combination with my own sort of like, for special characters, I had them in very programmer, super friendly places. But then I could no longer write on like anyone else's computer. So it was, yeah. But the funny thing, so I learned to type because before I learned that keyboard layout, I always typed in a very, I didn't use all my fingers to type when I typed in QWERTY. So I learned to do that with Colmac. And then when I switched back to QWERTY, I had to sort of relearn. So then I used this software to sort of learn to type properly. So I type much better in QWERTY by having bounced once to another keyboard layout and back. But now I ended up, and since then I also use American layout for programming, because the braces in the Swedish layout is just, the positioning of many of the special characters is just not very good. Okay, this did not compile. Oh, I didn't have a comma here. Okay, so now there is this little person here. It is very tiny. That's because, oh, I did a funny thing here. I had a camera set up, then I removed it. But that's easy to, we used rl.begin mode 2D game camera. So I have a procedure here that comes part of the template that just defines a camera that zooms things up a bit. And by default in the, it also follows the, I don't actually need this. Then I won't need this. Okay, so it's, the camera is actually just this. Well, it can still be that proc if it wants to. rl.end mode 2D. Ah, there you go. Now it's bigger. Most excellent. Looks like he's on a hunting trip in the Green Forest. Okay, so let's make it now so that I can click and then it sort of moves in that direction. I can make this a bit smaller. Put it here maybe. Player one, wherever we target pos maybe. Maybe. So what we do now is in update we get the current mouse position. Mouse pos. It's rl.get mouse position. This is in screen space. I have a zoomed up camera, so those coordinates won't match. Like, since this is the number that comes out of here is sort of, yeah, relative to the pixel size of this window. But I've zoomed things up, that wouldn't work. So you can fetch the camera inside update here as well, and then you can run world mouse world is rl.screen to world 2D. This proc here can take the mouse pos and then a camera, and then we can say if rl.is key, no, is mouse pressed left, then we say we can do this in here actually. Player target position. Gmem.player target position is mouse world. Just do it like that. Right, now we just need to move the character there, so we need to sort of interpolate the player character. There's a bunch of ways to do that. I mean, if you have like a adventure, like a point and click adventure game, you probably almost need some kind of pathfinding, because you need to walk around things usually and stuff. But here we don't have anything in the way yet, so we can just say I was thinking if we should, yeah, like this. If play gmem.player pos, I can do lean alg, which I remember I removed up here. Now I need it again. Import core math lean alg. The idea for this prototype is there's not much of an idea at all yet. It's just I'm just playing around. I just want to see if I can do some adventure game like point and click stuff, if it's fun to work with, because I know people, like in my previous game, people enjoyed the sort of kooky characters and stuff I put in there, right? So I've been thinking like, oh, maybe that's what I should actually look into more, like making a story with interesting characters and stuff. But I also think I think it would be a bit boring to do a standard point and click of like you would just like take items, combine items, use items with stuff. So maybe instead you could have something like, this is just random ideas I had, like you can have something where you in dialogue you find memories that you put into into your head to kind of piece a story together. You could have you could also introduce like some kind of role-playing game stats. So like, because it's weird, right, that if you play a game like Disco Elysium, that's sort of a role-playing game, because but it doesn't do all the sort of standard role-playing game things that people are used to, like combat. It's mostly like a dialogue-based game. It's almost like that game could almost have been a point-and-click adventure game. Disco Elysium could have been a point-and-click adventure game with very interesting and deep dialogue, right? And then they have this whole thing of the idea cabinet and stuff. But I was just thinking that maybe you can do something like a fun story with inside a point-and-click adventure, but also it's not just about finding items and using them with the world, because yeah, it's fun to mix things up a bit. So what I wanted to do here was check the length of player pos from the player position to the target position. That if that one is less than, I don't know, 5, or if it's more than 5, I mean. This is just this would need to be better somehow, but this is just, if this is true, then I can walk in that direction. Yeah, this is also reversed. It doesn't matter for the length because the length is unsigned, but we can player to target, we can call this. And then we can say player to target player dir, yes. We take the player to target and normalize it. That gives us a direction to walk along. And then we can say gmen.player pos plus equals player dir times rl.get frame time or something. Probably need a little. Yeah, it's already moving. Yeah, times 20 or something like that. So now it's times 50. Now it's walking around. And the top left corner of this thing, well, the position is the top left corner, so it's not the feet, which feels, of course, a bit strange. What I do then is, rather than, is it, yeah, you can just take this and you can subtract some from the position. There's also an offset you can put that, like an origin you can put that, some of the other draw texture procs, but on draw texture V we can just offset the position. So we take the width, we subtract the half the width and the full height. That will give us the middle of the feet. This will probably give me some, because these are integers. So to do that, this is also an integer. Here you go, it moved. Wait, it's still... Right, I think it's something like this. Wait. Hey? What? Wait a minute. What is going on? Oh yeah, I know what it is. It's just that my condition for stopping is of course not correct. Hello, Feibako. I mean, this thing here is not a good way to do it, because I can do like that and then it moves, walks. But if you have a bit of varying frame rate, then this thing here can make it overshoot. So then it starts, then it goes like maybe more than 1 pixel past it, so then it has to move back. So it sort of can oscillate a bit around the point, the target position, which is usually not what you want. You're probably better off doing some kind of lerping from a position to another. But yeah, that will be fine for now. Okay, what do I do now? Now I can walk around. Is it done now? Do I have a video game? I was thinking either I go up and talk to someone or I pick some stuff up. I mean, I said that I don't want it to just to be items that you pick up and use with the world, but that's an easy thing to start with, so maybe I should do something like that. Put a little inventory at the bottom, pick some stuff up, maybe have something to use it with. Let's do something silly. Maybe on this picture we'll put a well or something that has a lid, and then there's a crowbar that you need to use with the lid to open it, and then you can go inside, and then I don't know, just to do something here. So we can, let's make that little well thingy. We zoom this in. I was apparently using this palette. It's funny because the background does not come from this palette. Crowbar like the one from Half-Life. Well, something like that. Some kind of crowbar. So we put something like this. This is my well. Very good. Well. La 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 la. This is, I like just doing like super rough mock-ups for graphics, because it's just a bit more fun to work with somehow, even if you spend like like 2 minutes on it or something like that. It's just more fun. I'm thinking it's like a split lid, but maybe that's weird. It has a wooden... how can I... No, okay. Oh no. Okay, let's put a little border on this. This is a wooden lid on a stone well. It doesn't look like it, but that's a future me problem. If it's a problem at all. Since I'm just playing around, doesn't really matter. I mean, perspective is all crooked also, but that's fine. Well.png. don't know why I call these sprites. Let's just call them player X well text texture, and then we go to here. The player, when you start the game, the player walks to the origin because the target position is 0, 0. So I just set the target position to whatever the player position I set here is. And then it will stand still when you start. And then we go up here and we the well position is a vec2, and we put it halfway across the screen on the right side here somewhere. The screen is like 320 kinda wide, 200 times 100 maybe. No, 200 x, y, not by. That sounds like a measure. Well pos. Draw texture v gmem.well texture. Here you go. There's your well. So let's also put out this crowbar thingy or something. Actually, I should trim this and resave it. Just, oi, made the game big. Something like this, and we take 8 times 8 pixels, zoom in, change to our funny crowbars are red. And maybe slightly bigger. And then they're black in the, or like dark gray in the top, maybe. It's quite interesting to draw a crowbar with so few pixels. I don't know, whatever. Not terribly important right now. Looks more like a pipe wrench or whatever it's called, but doesn't matter. Crowbar.png. Right. So we also load a texture for the crowbar. And we put it somewhere. Yeah, right now it's just like texture and a position, blah blah blah. There's no like idea of an object in the world really. Like maybe interactable things should have some kind of object, but I don't really know what that is yet. So I just do like this. So we load the crowbar. I load the crowbar and I position it at 160, 120. So it's like here somewhere, I think. And then I draw it. There it is. Let me back it up a bit. So there it is. Let me perhaps add some kind of inventory down here now. So you have some kind of things you can click on that are like, maybe we can inspect this one, pick up this one, use this one with this one, something like that. So I'm thinking, oh, I also want to change the background color. Let's see here. Is this good? Maybe. So what I tend to do is whenever I pick some colors, I try to just use a few colors, but make sure that they actually show up correctly on stream. And to people who might not see, might be red-green colorblind. This, for example, is I switch into monochrome mode here. You see, these two colors are the same when you remove the, but this color, not the same at all. So let me pick that one. Can I wish there was an easy way, but I can just copy that. 156, where is my clear screen? 156, 21967, 21967. Oi! Well, that's quite the color. Oh well. We will keep it like that for maybe there's a nicer. Maybe this one is better. Yeah, let's use the darker one so it's not so crazy. 26, 122, 62. Oh, now this clothes disappeared instead. Okay, we're keeping the funny color. Maybe if we just swap these two. 67, 157. Wow. And soon I'm back at the color I had. It's working backwards. Okay. Oh. Yeah, this is a typical other color. It just disappears. Oh well. Okay, that's quite good. Enough of that color stuff. So let's make it so that I can pick this up, and maybe we'll put. Let's add in first so we can sort of inspect things. We can maybe, it's a crowbar, it's a well, like it's a question mark or something down here. So we'll make a little UI for that, I think. Either we make the UI first or make it possible to just click these first. Maybe we make it possible to click them first. If I click on these, then the character says something about them. That means that we need some kind of way to know that this is a thing, it has a size, this is a thing, it has a size, and some kind of text about what it is. let's call those. It's sort of like just like an object, but it's sort of like an interactable object, kinda. Let's call them. It's an object that has a struct. Can't write. There's a texture. And there's a position. From the texture and the position, you can calculate the rectangle if you use the size of the texture as the rectangle. Coral bar. Fivaco says, yeah, like you say that you broke your thinking by using Godot. Yeah, but it's like the way you structure games, you mean? Yeah, but it's I think you will if you do things in many different ways, you will eventually come to a I think one can sometimes get a bit used to doing things in one way, but eventually those different experiences will come together and sort of make it easier to do things in general in different ways. Thank you, Semsu. It's my end of vacation haircut. Okay, so let's move these two things into using the object. Well, I guess, yeah, we could have an array of objects, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole yet. Don't want to go down that rabbit hole. There we have our well and our crowbar defined as two objects instead in here. And I guess I don't need to care about it right now, but I should also probably unload these textures in here, but not that it matters really, just that they use, if I reset the game like this, then every time it runs this without freeing them, but these take like almost no memory, so for all intents and purposes it doesn't matter for just developing a bit like this. And in the release mode, the exe, you probably only load them maybe once, so then you can just load them at start, and then when you shut down the program, it's automatically freed for you. Both the GPU and the normal memory. Let's make a draw object proc here. That just says rl.draw texture v and maybe they can be like that for now. And then we just say gmem.crowbar. And then it's the well. And then there's some complaining down here. And now everything looks exactly the same. The player is gone for some reason. Interesting. Where did the player go? Strange. What did I change? Maybe it's just... Oh, wait, I'm not loading the texture anymore. Smart. Go. And now that these are like this, I could, for example, let's calculate a rectangle for them. Object rect is rect from post size. So this is a rect from post size. Is a utility proc inside rect.odin, which comes as part of the template. It just takes a position and a size, but it's just something that I always found useful. Take the position and then you take o.text. That you need to do like this. F32. Maybe we can. Here's a little raylib helpers. Texture rect. No, that's not what I want, but I want texture size as a vector. Like that, I think. Yeah. Then I can just type textures, texture size o.text here, and then I get the rectangle, and then what I can do is draw the rectangle. It's just to test. It's always good to just, before I make it possible to click these things and I want to display a little description or something, or the character says something about them, but before I do that, it's just good to visualize on the screen sort of the rectangle that I think represents them, so I know I'm on the right track. And there you go. You should see there's two red rectangles that perfectly overlap, so I can remove that again. Comment that out maybe, and we will use this soon. Right. What the hell? Let's put these two guys in a... Maybe we can use the core container small array. Small array is just a static array. I think this is how you do it. Oh, I don't have... Wait, I need to check something. Project.sublime project. Oh, I don't... Silly me. Hold please, I need to... I need to drag in the core folder and the base folder. And maybe the Raylib folder is good too. Now I can jump here. Yeah, so this one takes a num and a type. So it's just a static array, but it has all these procedures to fetch and add things to it. Because you know you can do the same thing with just having a counter like this, but you can instead also just do this. Right. So then we can say, what is it? Push. So you can append to it, and then you say daemon.objects, and then you append an object. This is the well, we append that. The crowbar, all good. And then we can do for how do you iterate this thing? I think you just do like this. That, and then we can draw it. All right, get. I'm experimenting. I don't usually use the small array structure because yeah, I just don't. Hello Fix. I think I sometimes don't use it because I find the name so weird that I don't want to. But yeah. Yeah, new haircut and camera step. Well, the camera step is old, I think, but it's yeah. It's the vacation, got warm, good to cut the hair, kind of stuff. Okay, so now this is drawing in a loop instead here. So that's all good. So now we can have a little message on each that is like inspect text. I don't know. Well, well, well. Well, 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 it's a well. I almost want to crow, crow, crow. It's a crow, but that doesn't make any sense. I'm almost writing puns already, but well, I did up here, so. Yeah, crowbar is the bottom. I was almost like gonna write something like, is it like a something like a protein bar, but made of crows instead? But Yeah. Clear lamp. Oil doesn't like my sideways taskbar. I can hide it if you don't like it. No, I'm joking. I like it over here because widescreen is so wide. So you have lots of space from the side to side, but you have very little space from top to top. So it's much nicer to have them on the side than have them on the bottom. This is just in the stage this is in is me doing a 2 hour stream and just playing around. I just started this in the beginning of the stream. Hurtful asks if I ever tried using ChatGPT. No, I have never used it at all. So I don't know if it's from what I've seen it sometimes I don't think it's very helpful for programming perhaps because it feels a bit like copy pasting together. Like it feels a bit the same as when people, copy paste together things from Stack Overflow and hope that it works. It feels a bit like the same fashion. Some stuff where it seems to be useful is, for example, when I was making my Steam page, people were helping me a bit with reading it, and then they fed some of my Steam page stuff through one of those things, and it actually found some grammar errors. So it's just for doing a check of my text. It actually gave some quite reasonable suggestions for how to. Like I had already written the text. It was completely almost done. But then it just pointed out a few grammar errors in it. I don't think you should use those kind of things for making like the initial stuff, because then it will like either for writing text or writing code maybe, because it will make it very. I think you lose a lot of your own creativity, both in writing programming code and writing text. But because I've never used it. It's just that I think a lot of the creativity comes from how you initially start something. Like if you write a book, the probably the most important part is the first draft. What's the first words you put in there? Because that sets the tone for all of it. So maybe good tools for checking what you already did to find issues. I don't know if it was ChatGPT or something else, but it found grammar errors that whichever it was, someone fed my short Steam description through one of those, and it found one grammar error, and it just gave a suggestion on the text where you just moved around two words that made it flow much better. Yeah, I think it seemed to do a pretty decent job of like just feeding it like an elevator pitch of something, and like how would you improve this? Yes, it did perfectly fine with that. My Odin book, how it goes. I'm gonna work on it this week. I've been on vacation for a few weeks. I haven't done any. The only thing I use my computer for is playing video games. That's my vacation mode. I haven't done any programming for 2 weeks. I haven't done anything. So, but the Odin book is almost 30,000 words, I think, and I've finished a chapter on manual memory management, well, a draft of it. And then, I don't remember what's next really. But let's do this now. We need to click these things and inspect them. I don't have that much time. I'm just doing this for like 1.5 hours more. This is today's silly stream. Inspect. Right. A crowbar. A bar made. Now, it's like a protein bar. Now, let's leave it as that. Let's not force the puns. if they don't come naturally. Don't only write the puns that come to you within 3 seconds. Otherwise, they won't be fun anyways. So now we need to click these somehow. So we go like, oh, that's what I was doing here, right? I can take this stuff, put it here, and then we get the object rectangle like this. Well, we do like something like this. So we fetch object, and then we get the rectangle, and then that rectangle is then in sort of in world space. But we have in get do this to get the world mouse pos. Put that there. Put this here. If check collision point rec. Don't I have something fun like that? Like a apparently not. Or maybe it's in here. Oh, I have a mouse in world rect even here. But this is actually not a very good procedure, because I've seen previously that one of the more expensive operations is get screen to world, I think. Because it does all the... What is it does? Well, let's check here. Pull in the Raylib source as well. Yeah, because it constructs a camera matrix and does the inverse, and this thing in turn does a lot of matrix multiplications, blah blah blah. I think I saw that I was doing this one a lot, the screen to world, and it was actually one of the things that ate the most amount of. I mean, it still didn't really matter because the game was running so quickly. But in Cat and Onion, I remember seeing this one pop up in the profiler. So I tried to not use it all the time. So if we're inside the object rectangle, and if rl.is mouse button pressed but left, and here is a conflict, we already see that we walk with the left and then we do this with the left, but that's because we can just do something silly like this for now. So if you didn't click the object, you press the left mouse button, then you walk there. But this is if you click an object, then we do rl.draw text something something. Maybe this one. Do I? So this hot reload thing has a main file. I think this one clears the temp allocator. Yes, it does. Good. Because I will need to use it. Yeah, I have this. I have a temp C string proc here that I... Because Raylib wants C strings. So I just temp allocate them. And what different? Okay. So draw text takes a position as two separate integers. There's also one that takes like a vector, but that's not terribly important right now. We can just do like this. You draw it at the player with font size 16 pixels, white text. Yeah, this of course won't work. But yeah, maybe like you said, the fix. Maybe the stage. What I'm doing is trying to just do things and see if it sparks joy. That's actually quite a good description. Okay, yeah, it just flashes for one frame, of course. We do like this instead. gmem.show. Maybe we can do like a say proc. Player say. Like this, and then we say. So we get the current. When we want to say something, we set a text and then we say that it should be shown until for 3 seconds or something. So that's those two variables. You can go down here and you can do like player say o.inspect text. Yeah, it's like Fix says, it's the Marie Kondo game, the method. See if the game sparks joy. If it does not, throw it out. I think that's a good. I mean, that's you prototype things and see if it's fun to work with, just in the most basic way. If it's not fun to work with in the most basic way, then you throw that one out and start a new one. I guess with computers, you have the nice thing that things don't really take physical space in the same sense. So you don't have to. It would be funny if you work on something one day. If it doesn't spark joy, you just shift delete the folder. Like nope. That's the more destructive way to do it. So player say this one doesn't have a. Right now this doesn't do anything anymore. That's because wait, I wanted this long thing that I wrote forever. So then we go to draw here and we say if emem.player say until if that's bigger than rl.getTime, that means we still need to say this thing because this time is still in the future. Because I took the current time and added 3 seconds. That means it will be shown for 3 seconds if I check that the time hasn't gone past this thing yet, right? Righty doos. gmem.say text. A crowbar. Interesting. Okay. Wow, how it wobbles around. Oh, it's because that procedure takes an integer. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Crowbar. Well, well, well. It's a well. Amazing. Now that we have that, I want to add a little UI down here, where sort of the inspect thing is chosen by default. I realize I'm again doing this thing where in Cat and Onion, I like having a UI, like I mix abilities and items in the same thing, but that's just for now. The most useful thing in Sublime Text, if you hold down the right mouse button and scroll, it switches file. I was ironic there. It's completely useless. The only time this happens is by mistake, because you're right-clicking a bit and then you try to scroll down, and then it just changes file. I should probably unbind it somehow, but it hasn't been too annoying. Just whenever it happens, I'm like, that's not useful. Right, so let's draw this little UI at the bottom here, and I will draw this UI just after I draw all this stuff, I think. Let's get a full screen rectangle that we can split up to use the UI. Do I have a procedure for fetching the screen rectangle? No. Okay, I'm gonna go to some other project here and steal that. I think maybe this one has it. Screen size. Maybe in here. No. Okay, maybe in here. Screen rectangle. Nope, we didn't have it at all. Okay then. Why do I look in? Why don't I just go to the Cat and Onion source? Full screen rect. Oh, I guess it's just that actually. Well, it's not much to copy in then, but I can do that. And then it's just rl.get screen width and rl.get screen height. The reason you want a rectangle for the full screen is that then it's easy to make UIs, but you can just rect cut it. Because now, if we take this and we do like RL, we just draw it gray, then it will cover the whole screen. I thought. Oh, what happened there? I think the compiler crashed there. Try it again. It happened once, but it was just like done and then nothing happened. Unclear. Question is though, is this I should probably these are not scaled properly, really. Are they? Because if I... Like if I do -10 here, it's not gonna get 10. You're probably not gonna see any difference at all. Because this is drawn with this UI camera, this game camera that zooms everything up. But maybe I want that for the UI as well. So we will just... Let's go back to this thing. Aha. You just need to... This is my old game, but if you have a rectangle on the screen and you use a camera, if it's a full screen rectangle that sits at the origin, what you need to do is just to zoom the size. So you use the zoom of the camera. Oh well. Whatever, let's do this. r.width, r.height. Cam, it's called. Like that. And now if you do something like subtract 10 here, not r.width minus equals 10. Wait a minute. Divide by the zoom. Because otherwise it goes the wrong direction. So there you go. Now what I was just trying to do was to make this rectangle just perfectly cover the screen and not cover it plus a lot outside. Because what you can do now is you can say stuff like toolbar is rect cut rect bottom. You say R and then you say how much, 20, margin 0. And you take the toolbar and you draw that. Now we'll have a part at the bottom like that. That's all you need. And then we can pick a nicer color. Maybe we take some nice woody color like this. 66, 46, 51. 66, oh, I thought I remembered it. 66, 46, 51. 255. Like that. Maybe we can make a little nice border at the top. One way to do that is just to do we have rect add rect pos add? Yeah. So I just do this 0 minus 1. Then we take this gray color 74, 84, 98. 74, 84, 98. 98. Now this will give us a border here that barely shows because I chose a crappy color. 109, 117. I wish I had a super fast hotkey. Like I have the Windows color picker. That doesn't want. Oh, there it is. I can almost use this actually. I just wish it didn't have this RGB stuff here. I think it's because of web stuff. I just wish this was, or maybe I can actually just select these. Well, that's actually quite. But I wish I just had a button to hover anything on the screen, click it, and then I get the three RGB values with comma separated. That's good enough. Yeah, Fix, make the rect cut stuff. I mean, some people think it's like a big library or something. It's just, this is all it is. This. It just takes a pointer. So there's two, I have two different ones. There's one called split. This one takes a rectangle, does not modify the rectangle. And it says if you want to split from the top, left, bottom, or right, and then it returns both the top and the bottom. That's if you don't want to change this. But I've found it quite often that the best way to do it is to just do the rect cutting instead. So you feed it direct, and then this is whatever is left, and then whatever it cut away from it is returned. And it's you can just figure this code out very easily. Or you take a screen cap right now, and I will actually. I'm like, can I send them here? Do 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 do. Yeah. There you go. Actually, I can put these into. Put the split ones into. I don't use them that often, but okay, so we need some kind of inventory down here, is what I was trying to do. Let's start like this. Inventory item is an enum. Probably need something else there later, but no, wait. Yeah, we probably don't want an enum. Like I could have a bit set here, but that's not probably not what you want. You probably want. It's a struct. There is a. It's an enum. I just make a dynamic array of inventory items. I know I could use what am I typing? I know I could use a bit set here, but you know, usually you can pick up several of the same or something like that. But this will probably be a struct later with some type and something else. But so this is the first item, is the inspect, so I can run and click things and whatever. Inventory. Check something. Yeah, you have to you have to always specify the full type here, because otherwise append can't figure out the generic type here. So in many cases you can use for an enum type like this, but in this case you must type the full name, because otherwise append gets confused. I don't know why I sent you the gist. It's actually in the template. It's in a file called rec.odin in the template. Okay, so we have that. Then I will do for I in emem.inventory. I wish there was a built-in. This has been discussed in Odin Discord and stuff. Like, I wish this kind of thing, small array, was built in, so it's like a fixed array, but that has the built-in stuff to sort of where you can add things, and it keeps the count, like exactly what this thing does, but built in. So you get like so instead of this, you could use the same syntax as with dynamic arrays. There's been some suggestions for syntaxes, like there was someone who said that maybe you could do like, because this there was some different, like something similar to dynamic array, but maybe with a fixed length here or something, and then it's sort of fixed array instead, and it's built into the language. But yeah, I would love that, and I think I would use this more, just more somehow more easily somehow use it. So now we need to cut rect left. So we take the toolbar then and cut the toolbar. And we want to cut maybe toolbar.height from it. So we cut out squares. And the margin is maybe 3 pixels. And then we can also rect isn't there a rect pad? Don't I have those? Inset rect, okay. So this just gives me a, actually this, it's more like 4 pixels here and 2 there. That will give me, no, 2 here and let me draw this rectangle. I will use the item soon. There we have that thing. But since it's a bit squished now, as you can see. So I will want one rectangle for each thing in the inventory. But since here there's only 2 pixels for each here. This should be 4, I think. Then it will be square. No? Oh wait, I'm silly. This needs to be 1. This thing will give me a margin of 2 pixels at the start. So it's 2 pixels smaller. And then this, if this then is 1, then be like that. Now it's 2. So then it is like that. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Something like that. Switch I in switch I case.inspect. We'll have a little texture here. We need a kind of texture for the inspect ability, whatever it is. How big should this be? It's currently like 16 by 16 pixels, kinda. I'm not that picky at this time. At this moment, I'm not that picky about everything being correct sizes. There you go. You can put an outline of some a strange question mark. Right. Fetch more coffee. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Okay, let's speed this up. I realize I might only have like an hour left. I want to be able to pick this up, open this well, and maybe go inside. And then I've done what I'm supposed to do with today. Because I'm a bit slow today. Vacation brain. Hello, Eero. God morgon. It's funny. There's inspect text and inspect text because it's this is the icon. Not very important right now what it does, what the name is. Right, and then we draw the, now here we rl.draw rectangle, no texture. Let's use Draw Texture Pro. Hello, Eero. I'm making point and click adventure. I can walk around. Very nice. I can look at things. A crowbar. Well. It's a well. This is a well with a lid on. It's of course completely not obvious. And now I want to pick up the crowbar and open the lid and go inside. Then I'm done. And when I've done that, I'm done for today. Okay, so we need to draw this texture. Really help. Do I have like the texture? Oh, I have. Yeah, that's what I want. Because Draw Texture Pro takes the source rectangle and the destination rectangle, but in many cases, the destination rectangle is the full rectangle of the whole texture. So I have a little procedure here called texture rect that just fetches, like it's just 0, 0 width height rectangle. Stupid game being in the way. And then it should draw it into cell with this. It's hard to see here because I have too many things on the screen. But the next parameter is a offset, and then there is a rotation, and then there is a color. So we draw that. Then we have a question mark there. Very good. We want a current inventory item, right? So we go down here. If we are at, if the index of this one is the same, if idx is gmem.cur inventory item, then we do rl.draw rectangle line, draw rectangle. Can't spell at all. Very good. Now I will just do this in like, yeah, try to get this done quickly because very slow start of this day. That one is selected because it's at index 0. Right, so let's make it possible. Let's add a pickup also. New 16 by 16. Let's do like this maybe. An arrow, outline. Wow. Orange, very cool. Pickup.png. Right. So we load the pickup texture, blah, blah, blah. We go to the top here again. Add pickup there. Unhandled switch case, pickup. Too helpful autocomplete. Right, we need to append that one to here. Restart the game. You have pickup. Now I want to be able to click between those. There's a few different things here. That first thing is that it can't, if I click in the UI, it shouldn't move there. But that's quite easy to fix, I think. The only problem here is that I need to know where is the UI. This is sometimes a bit of a troublesome. Let's just do it like this. Mouse in UI. I'm just gonna hack together some stuff here now. Toolbar rect is a proc that returns a rect. We do like that. Return toolbar. Toolbart. That is the camera as well, that thingy. That's fine. And I don't need that. I can just do exactly how you do these things. Like, you might probably, if my screen starts scrolling, I want a separate camera for the UI. It's still nice to use a camera for the UI so you can scale it up. Alternatively, maybe for this game I will not. We'll see if I use scale. I'm always on the fence about this thing of pixel perfect rendering and not, because if you don't use pixel perfect rendering, then you can sort of do crazy zooms. And if anyone played Cat and Onion, they know that I love doing like zooming in on things. I'm not a purist at all when it comes to that, and it kind of it can make it a bit more funny and whimsical. But it's also quite nice to work in pixel perfect, but I don't think, yeah, it's not, there's no reason to always do it. It's more of a style, right? Than there's no technical limitation about how big the pixel should be. It's more of a style thing, and some people think it looks messy if things can be off by 1 pixel, but if you only use it maybe for rotations and zooming the camera, then I think it can look quite good. One ugly thing in Cat and Onion is, if you played it, that there is parallax, so the background layers are parallaxing, and they sort of end up like things are like half a pixel off with the background and foreground, and sometimes it just looks a bit messy. There was really no way around that with smooth scrolling and a parallax, and yeah. But anyway, what I want to do here is to not be able to click when I'm in the toolbar. So, wait. Wait, mouse wallpaper. Yeah. Take this. If rl.check collision point rec world mouse pose tr. If you're not in that one, then you're allowed to move the player. Now I can move the player, but if I click here, I can't. UI code is a bit funny. When you do UI in an immediate style fashion, it's usually quite nice to, with immediate mode UIs, the drawing and the updating of it is usually quite intertwined, in my experience. So with that in mind, I think I'm just going to do this. You update draw and then you update UI. I was thinking about this the other day, that I often have trouble that either I need to, in update, walk through the UI and then defer lots of things to draw the UI in draw on top of the game. But since the UI is always on top of the game, I could just also update the UI and do the whole updating of it plus draw it with one immediate thing after the game is drawn. So that's what I'm gonna try here. I'm just writing nonsense code. And then of course I could use for now I will use the game camera. Like I said, maybe I should, if I need later, I can do, I can use a separate camera. That if I start offsetting that camera, then the UI will travel along with it, which is not what you want. I'm just gonna copy this here and then remove all the game drawing code, that stuff. Right? Correct. And then the begin drawing and end drawing can't be there anymore because they need to be around the whole thing here. Draw and update like that. This still works. And now in here we can check. Let me get the I was thinking, whatever. We're doing it like this now. I could also draw the UI in true pixels, but yeah, it's nice to use a camera to zoom it. So we have the mouse world position here. And then we check if check collision point rec between the cell. No wait, which is first? Is the point or is it? It's the point. The mouse world mouse pos and the cell. So we press the left mouse button and we're there. Then we say that gmem.cur inventory item is now IDX. Now you can switch like that. So now we need to, like, if you switch to this, it doesn't do anything yet. It will still say a crowbar when you go and do like that. So we need to act on which, when you click on something, here we go over all objects. We get the object rectangle, we check collision point rec, blah, 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 mouse position, mouse button pressed left, player say. Right. So here we write something like so we switch on the current inventory item, the one that is selected. I know this is not entirely safe code because currently it's entirely safe, but it's, this is a dynamic array, it's an integer. What if this one shrinks, you lose an item, and then suddenly this points to something outside, or it's an index outside of it. Yeah, but that is a future me problem. It's not of a big concern right now. I try to unlearn, like I always type my switches like this. But I have recently, the Odin compiler, the strict style. I like compiling with strict style on because it has some nice checks for how you code. And then recently it's been added that the cases should be like this. For some reason I've always done like this. Because there's a curly brace here and then my brain just indents. But this is how it's done in the Odin style. And Fix says future you is gonna be so happy about past you leaving stuff like that. Yeah, but this is all just most of this is just gonna be thrown out, or like the inventory might not even be a dynamic list at the end. It's fine for now. I think it's fun to have like you do like 3 hours of total chaos programming. And if whatever you did was fun, then you can think about like how to systematize it a bit more, because it's usually not that much code anyways. So if it's inspect, then you do player say. If it's pick up, then I'm just gonna say pick up for now, but because I can't pick up things yet really. Oh, there's missing a dot. Pick up. A crowbar. Pick up. Okay. Maybe we just add here crowbar, and then we compile and fix the it's funny how it becomes like suddenly you have a switch here where you can use the crowbar with items. Yeah. Well, okay, maybe we do make this into a struct now. And we move these guys to inventory item type. And now we need to fix 1,000 compilation errors because I changed that. Invalid type inventory item, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Let's see here. Switch inventory item type. This one needs to be object. Doesn't need to do anything yet. Type. Case.object. And now we can do like this. So this is the code for drawing it. Wait. Drawing the UI twice still, am I not? Yes. This code needs to go like that. Here. Case.object. Too helpful. Texture equals i.object.texture. Hello, Ari. Oh, you just woke up for work. Wait, what's an object? Object has a texture. Yeah, what's the problem then? Oh, because there's no dot type here. Text. So I steal the texture. Well, this is when it draws it in here. So when I picked it up later, it will just use the type from the texture from the object you pick up. Okay, like that. Oh, both for question. Okay, there was a bug. There was an initialization error. There was question mark, both for question marks for a while there. Right. A crowbar. Right. So now when you use pickup with the thing, now it will be like just remove no, yes, this is correct. You remove this index from it. You try to pick it up, then it should disappear. Now I can just remove things from the world. Good. And then I should give myself a new inventory item. Object equals O. That. Now if you pick this up, it appears here. You can pick up the well too. You have a well in your inventory. That's not supposed to happen, of course, but now I just need to be able to use the object with this thing. Hello, Kenny. Now I just need to be able to use the crowbar I pick up with the well here, and then it will open. How do we do that? We will something like this maybe. This is something I did in Cat and Onion where I had a use item handler. It works quite well. It's a proc that takes item, inventory item, maybe like that. Maybe it can return a bool if you did the if the item was consumed or something. I don't know. And then we can write well item handler is a proc that takes an item, inventory item, returns a bool. What are you doing green? Oh, because... Oh no, because they're always green. I was like, why is it green? It's always been green. So we get the object and which item you're trying to use with it. You do a partial switch item.type. I was thinking I still want these things to happen. So in this case, this will always be an object. Okay, let's do like that for now. I think it would be nice to have item handlers that can override do specific things on pickup, like they do something else. But that's a future me problem. So then you don't need this. Wait. But then you don't know which object it is, because objects are just a texture position and blah blah blah. You don't know, like, what is the crowbar? It doesn't know. If I use this with this, it doesn't know what this is. It's almost like this thing should have stayed. Almost like an object type that is like, what is this thing? Oh well, I'll add it for now. Generic is things, I think generic will be things you can't pick up really. Like it's a static, or yeah, I don't know, or it is all a bit weird maybe. Oh, well, we'll see. We shall see, we shall see. So this one will be a generic, and this one is a crowbar. If you try to pick up, if O dot object type is not dot generic, it must be a specific thing. Otherwise, there's no point in picking it up, is there? Case crowbar, case generic. Okay, so if you use the crowbar with the well, then some stuff will happen. I can use the player say, I'm gonna open it. Forgot my dots. Yeah, that stuff again. Okay. This bool I don't need. Okay, now that compiles. Good. We go back down here to the well. And then we say item handler is well item handler. That won't compile because object has this stupid thing like that. Another thing, this I can remove. Oh, wait. This has this be like that. Right. So now, if we go back to here, here is where we use an object with the thing. Then we say if O dot use item handler is not nil. Good morning, everyone. If this is not nil, then we use item handler Which one is it? We need to get the pointer instead. And then we need to feed in the object. Inv item.object. That's the object we're using. Need to copy there. Ah, no, I meant like that. Okay, we picked this guy up. Now we have it. I'm gonna open it, it says. Now you can no longer pick this up. You can still inspect it. I'm gonna open it. Of course, I should maybe walk there, but that's a later me problem also. Like walking up and putting players in position and stuff. Item handler. Okay, so now when it here we've detected that we are using the crowbar with a well. With the well. So now, just like Semzu said, you probably want a reference to itself. Yeah, this one. So I can change the texture. Exactly. You are 100% correct this. Let's make this one maybe 42 by 42 again. Then we I'm just thinking because I don't have any way to sort of define a interaction rectangle yet. So this thing, if I make this texture bigger, then you can, it's a bigger region you can click on. So I wanted to put, let's just do them as two separate textures maybe. So we do this, then we make a hole like this instead. Replace this color with and then we take this one maybe and just do like this. I don't know. Amazing. And then maybe we can just do like this. Take that. I want the lid separately. Replace this color here with nothing at all. Then we can save that as well lid. What I should probably do is that the well has these both, so the lid is actually on top, but so the well's texture will become something else. I'm thinking maybe I should move this template I have for getting started. I should move in I have an Atlas like an Atlas maker that's very easy to use with Raylib. Maybe I should move that one in so I can just by default just have Sprite files in a folder, get it into an Atlas, and just work with that from the start. Because then I don't need to go around and load textures like this. I just refer to a rectangle in a Atlas and you're done. But yeah, maybe I'll look into that and add that to the template, because I realize it's probably something I should start with, so I don't have to like go around like this, I want to work a bit more on this, and then I have to go around and fix it up to make it sort of proper. Well, open text. Is that what it's called? Point and click. Well, it's not. Yeah, well open. Yes. Where am I? There. Ah, it opened. Amazing. The well is open now. Wow. So exciting. I had a little lid thingy I want to put on as well. So then when you've opened it, then we will add to this objects list what is an object? It's these things. Say texture is gmem.well texture lid. Position is o.pos plus, I don't know, 2020. Inspect text is that's the lid of the well. That doesn't need the other ones. There we go. I compiled. Do like this. Ah, there it is on the ground now. So now we just need some way to use this well. Because the well is open now. The well did I use now? This all works. Now I just want some way to use it. Maybe I'll just add another ability that is use. I don't know. And in this case, use means climb into it, which is totally not obvious. But that's fine. Where am I here? Update. It's a bit confusing. There's a use item handler, then there's a use. Use item handler is more for using objects, not items, with the well, and then I have a use now. But the use is not really an item, it's more of an action. Well, item handler. How do I do that in a nice way? Not sure. The icon for use. There it is. It's your own head. Looks like talk. I don't know. Not that important right now. Do. Why does it always pop up game? Oh, like it's at the top. So I need to configure my LSP because I obviously always do this. I type use, colon, and then I press enter to get the new line. And then it's like suggesting things for me. Is it maybe that my, wait, project. Auto complete. Off false complete. I think that might be, yeah, that's better. Then I have to press Control Space to get it, which I like. Text equals. Use.png. I haven't added it to the inventory. Use. Stretched pixels and everything. Fantastic. This doesn't look like the E.T. video game or something. Like it's just nonsense that doesn't make any sense. It's just like, oh, take the head and put it in the well stuff. Okay, now we just need to be able to use this thing. That's the only thing left. So the well will have an object type, so I can identify it. Like that. And then here, yeah, just do that. And what I think I'll do here is I'll make a new item handler. No, wait, there. Okay, I will just do something stupid here. If we go down here and we have use, then we say if o dot object type equals open well. Then o dot object type equals dot object well open well. Now we're close. Now we just need to now we'll do something silly like this. I mean, so what would happen now is if you go in there and maybe you change which room you are in. So you essentially change level in the game. We don't have such a concept yet. And I'm not going to be able to have time to do that today because it's just my before lunch stream. So I will do in well bool. This will you replace later with, yeah, you know, switching out to a whole new area, level, whatever you want to call it. So you just do gmem.inLevel equals true. So now, if we go to draw here, we can say if, do something silly like this. If in gmem.inWell, then we do something completely different. This is so here, you know, essentially this would use a separate level, but now I just want to draw something else here. So I will just do rl.draw text, it's dark in here at position 2020 50. So the thing is now I'm not using a camera here, so that's why these numbers a bit bigger than they usually are, like so text size 50, because then it's in in actual screen pixels. It's just me doing some random crap. Okay, so now you should pick this up. You can look at the well. You can't use it, I think. No. I'm gonna pretend you have to walk up to it. You open it, just like this. Ah, wait. My dramatic thing didn't work because the clear background is in there. So then we'll do like, here we'll do RL black. Here we go, it's dark in here. Wow. Wow. Yeah, so that works. So what this would need to be a bit more good, is, let's see here. This stuff with the object item handling stuff would probably need to be improved a bit. Yeah, somehow it's a bit weird. I'm not really sure exactly what the problem is, but and then
here I use a dynamic array. Here is an objects array. Like I said, this thing can, of course, crash if you remove an item from the inventory and this still points at an index outside this thing. I would probably use some kind of, I like my handle-based arrays, usually. Which is sort of like a fixed array that also has handles that are like a index plus a generation, so you could add in that. You probably want a UI camera to use down here, so you don't use this camera in case you start moving the camera around. And then I would also like to put in my Atlas Baker, my Atlas thingy, so I can just have Sprite files in a folder and it just outputs an Atlas, and then I don't have to load textures. It's just one big image that has rectangles in it that I can reference. And then of course after that, it would need some kind of concept of a room, so we don't have this in well thing that I just did to test things. And the room would then be a bunch of objects, essentially, plus some background graphics, whatever it is you want. Let's yeah, I will but that's that for today. I plan on making, like, trying to do like more in my time zone morning streams, because it's a fun way to kick off the day for me. But I might try to just do like different fun small prototype things like every morning until and then I revisit things. Maybe on Fridays or something I'll revisit like the one I liked most from the other days in the week, or I don't know. I haven't really planned it out. Yeah, and also thanks to all my patrons as usual. If you want to support me, then you can become a patron. There's a link in the video description. And I would post, as with all my things, I put this stuff in patrons have access to the source code for this. I will push that source code soon, and the link will be in the video description. Thank you all for watching. I will see you probably tomorrow. Bye bye.